All right, guys, it is time to figure out if the Cleveland Browns are going to go outside of the building to hire a defensive coordinator or if they are going to hire from within to keep the system that Jim Schwartz has in place. Because as it stands, Todd Monken is done with Jim Schwartz. He's not dealing with it. It's been a lot of stuff going on. The disrespect from Jim Schwartz. He calls the scene in the building, packed up his stuff, all of this stuff. Todd Monken has been polite. He's taken the high road. But at that presser yesterday, he couldn't hold it in, and he let it be known exactly where he stands with Jim Schwartz and what's about to go down. We got to get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. Let's get right into things. I appreciate you guys for the continued support of the channel. Let's go, man. Jim Schwartz is done in Cleveland. Todd Monken, he couldn't hold it in yesterday. He let it be known, I didn't take this damn job because of no Jim Schwartz. When I was coaching Lamar Jackson with the Ravens, I wasn't thinking about Jim Schwartz. I was here worried about Myles Garrett. I was worried about Denzel Ward. I took this job because of the players, not because of no Jim Schwartz. I respect him. I hope he respect me. But look, he don't stop no show over here. We're going to make it happen with or without him. He drew the line in the sand. Jim Schwartz, either you going to get down or you going to get the hell out of the way. And I believe Jim Schwartz is gone. We got to go to ESPN Cleveland to see what they had to say about this because it seemed like it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And now we need to be looking forward to who's going to be the new defensive coordinator of this team, man.
And they might have an inclination that it's not going to work out.
Were you surprised that, I mean, Todd Monken said he's very candid. We all know he's very candid, but to say, you know, he kind of dodged it, the Jim Schwartz question at first, but then he came back around to it and was like, hey, I didn't take this job for Jim Schwartz. I took it for these defensive players. Were you surprised he was, I mean, Tony,
absolutely.
If there was any doubt, it's gone now that he was coming, you know, that he wasn't coming back.
And each one of those, Haslam, Barry, and Monken, use the same phrase. It's inappropriate at this time to comment.
Yeah.
As if a separation agreement might be in the works. Okay. Is the way I took that. Now, they have every opportunity all day to convince me otherwise, and they didn't. So, but it appears that the support shown by Jason Tarver, Jacques Caesar, I think Brandon Lynch was in there, and I don't know if from Banda, the safeties coach, was in there or not. But I know those three were in there. The support they showed indicates to me that there's been a meeting, and because they want to continue the system, maybe they promote from within or they're happy with someone he brings in. But it appears that they're going forward without Schwartz. It's the only conclusion I could draw from all that.
Do you think you're right? They were so heavy on we want to keep the system, not keep the defensive coordinator, basically. Do you think there's a chance that it could be Banda or Brandon Lynch or Tarver or Jacques Caesar as the next defensive coordinator? Or like, do you think they'll be in the running for it?
I think there's a chance. I don't know what Monken was on several occasions said now's not the time to talk about staff. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to run the same system, you want to keep as many of the assistants as you can, I would think. He said that this defense is built for that system. They've invested in specific players since Schwartz has been here in the 3 years he's been here. So they could do that, or, you know, they could bring in an outsider who has an offspring of Jim Schwartz. I don't know who that would be. Or they could promote from within. But again, the support shown by those assistant coaches were very instructive to me. Now, Haslam did point out some of them are, quote, free agents, meaning some of them, their contracts are up. So it doesn't necessarily mean the entire staff would stay. But some are under contract, and it appears that they will definitely keep them.
Very interesting. I thought it was jaw-dropping moment there, but very fascinating. All right, Tony, the other big news item that everybody was looking out of this, we didn't get a ton on it, but sort of notable, what's going on with quarterback. And he was specifically asked about Shedeur Sanders. Is he QB1? I think it was the first question he was asked, actually. And he was non-committal to, like, he didn't name Shedeur Sanders as QB1. That's not a surprise, but what was your take on that and kind of his thoughts on the quarterbacks?
Well, he made that one statement about, I'm very excited to work with all our quarterbacks, which you would assume he would say. But he did say that I think he phrased it like at any position, that's to be determined. Who is the starter? Shadur's name really, I think, was the only one that came up with Monken of the quarterbacks because, after the viral video of him embracing Shadur and acknowledging that the Ravens wanted to draft your ass, I specifically asked Monken, how did you contribute to that decision that Baltimore, he wouldn't go into it. He dodged that, saying, I'm not going to talk about another team's personnel system, personnel process. Yeah. So he was able to dodge that question, and he really didn't tip his hand. He didn't supplement that viral video that everyone has in their brain of embracing Shador. He didn't put him off, but he was very, very non-committal. And I think really, as he pointed out, once they complete their staff, then they will dive into evaluating fully what's on hand. And maybe they don't have a strong opinion. Maybe that's very possible. But it was a firm non-committal to the quarterback position.
Yeah, and then as you know, Tony, Super Bowl week is happening right now, which means Radio Row is happening, which means we already have comments from Shador Sanders on Todd Monken's comments about Shador Sanders. Tony, he said that's what's expected. That's what Shador Sanders said to Kay Adams today. So it doesn't seem like anybody's in the dark about anything. It seems like everything, it's going to what you said. It's going to be a competition probably, right?
Well, he didn't use that word. That was surprising to me because I don't think he's at that point yet. I thought he was very candid, and although he's competed against this team now for 3 years, he doesn't have enough intimate knowledge to side one way or the other, and that's totally understandable.
Yeah. Did any other big takeaways from you from Todd Monken's part of this? I'm going to ask you some Jimmy questions, but from Todd Monken, I know, Tony, a lot on development, a lot on young players. That's like a big theme today. A lot of adaptability on offense clearly is what they're looking for. What did you take away?
He will call the plays. He confirmed on offense, which we expected because the offensive coordinator he hired from Baltimore has not done it, and you would expect it. He seems ready or is cognizant of the challenge that the offensive side of this roster poses. And several, Andrew Berry in subsequent comments reiterated the commitment they're going to make to the offense this year. And it's going to be, we might see different kinds of players now with Monken as head coach versus Kevin Stefanski as head coach as far as offense. So again, I think it's going to be wait until he completes the staff and they dive in before we know which way